Welcome to Pivot Happens, the plucky little podcast that could, with Anne Kingston and denMeer.
Welcome to episode 5, The Spiritual Red Carpet, How to Pivot Out of Imposter Syndrome. Hello, hello and welcome to the Pivot Happens podcast, where we talk about pivot and resilience. Because once we got started on this, we kind of realized, hey, pivoting is all about resilience. Because that's the thing about pivoting is it's how you react to
what life throws at you.
Exactly, what life throws at you or what you've thrown yourself into.
Yeah,
so,
right.
On this episode, we are going to talk about something that I'm sure nobody out there can relate to. I'm sure that this is just us, this is nothing that anybody would ever have a clue about. Imposter syndrome. And certainly there's plenty of people out there talking about imposter syndrome. It's not like we've invented a new topic here or anything.
Yeah.
But when I started thinking about this, and I'm in the throes of a real big case of imposter syndrome right now. So I thought, hey, why don't we talk about imposter syndrome? So I said, hey, why don't we talk about imposter syndrome?
Let's do it.
Here we are. So
let's do it. Yep.
And I just said to Anne, I bet you there's a lot of people who, if I told them I felt that way, they would be like, really? Because you seem so confident.
Yeah.
And I think that there's almost everybody who has imposter syndrome. Well, that's why. I guess that's, right? That's why I feel that way. Because it's like, I'm acting so confident right now, but inside I'm like, what the hell are you? What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And just feeling like, okay, I've done something and I'm feeling really good about it, but what if the world hates it? What if they think it just sucks?
What if I am a fraud? What if that's not just a voice? It's true,
Yeah.
So I think imposter syndrome is, when you get to the heart of it, it's insecurity, and I think it's also maybe something we drag with us through life. You know what I mean? Where we've gotten messages along the way of, like they may be subtle messages like, well, that's a nice dream. That's a nice hobby. That's, what I mean? I know that, we've mentioned this before, but one of the things that you and I did for each other was this unwavering support and belief that our dreams and our goals were 100% realizable. That we never entertained not happening, these things not happening. And that was great.
But it doesn't mean that even though we've entertained it, pushed ourselves, that somewhere in that path, we've had those moments. We've had those moments several times, more than I can count.
Mm-hmm.
The imposter syndrome of, oh my God, what am I doing?
Yeah. Is this crazy? Is this crazy? Or you may have, like I was given very direct messages that don't aim too high. You know what I mean? I was actually told, don't aim too high, then you won't be disappointed. And I realized what I've been kind of realizing is that became a safety thing for me. That became a safe place for me, because it was like, I got that direct message of, if you play small, if you don't risk, you won't get hurt. And you won't, and it's like, and what else? You won't ever take a shot at your dream. Yeah. And here I am this far along in life, and I'm finally trying to make a really big dream of mine come true, which is trying to get a book published. And I've been writing my whole life, literally since I learned how to write. I've been making up stories and writing things and enjoying writing and excelling in writing and all of that. That was just always kind of my one of my things I really liked. But that doubt is what kept
Mm-hmm.
it on computer hard drives, computers that have now died, and the books died with them. And
I've had that too.
I don't know that I
Huh.
don't know that any of those were necessarily, I don't know, who knows what they could have been. I mean, who can say, but I feel very differently about the book I'm working on now, of course.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been a very different experience. So, um and again, in large part to the constant encouragement I had while doing it, to the constant, you know, when I was having moments of doubt, having you be there and being like, eyes on the prize.
Same, 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 same. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
same, same. I
Yeah.
think that you know, I published the book, but having you and others be willing to read it and be willing to tell me honestly what you thought, hopefully, like,
Yeah.
there's the imposter syndrome. There, did
Right.
you tell me exactly were you honest? Like,
Right.
that's that,
Right. Oh,
you know what I mean? It still
exactly.
creeps up. Hmm.
It does. It
Yeah,
does. And that's 100%. That's how it works. That's how it gets to you. It makes you question yourself. It makes you question
yeah,
your abilities. Yeah, it just
yeah.
really sucks. It's a bitch. Imposter
Hmm.
syndrome's a real fucking bitch.
Yep,
I don't
I
like
agree.
her. I don't.
Yeah,
And
because if you let it, like you said, and I think it's easy to do this with the imposter syndrome, being fearful, like I think we talked about fearful last time,
yeah,
being fearful and moving forward, there's still a momentum that you have in that process. Imposter
yes,
syndrome is, I think, a little different. It feels different. It's there's fear there, but it's also like you become paralyzed. And I know that people get paralyzed in fear. I've been paralyzed in fear. I know you have too, but it's like, I don't know. There's something about imposter syndrome that's different than fear holding you back. I mean, yes, it comes all from
yeah,
the same place, but like,
yeah.
I
It's
think that
it's
when you put yourself out there and you're wanting to be more than you had been, and you're trying to move yourself forward, and you're just looking for that crumb of encouragement, that crumb of encouragement to say, yes, you can do this. If anybody were to step into either of our lives and say, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? You really think you can do that? Like, please. I think that it could have it could have had a, an adverse effect, absolutely.
without the support, you mean?
Or being told, you know,
Yeah,
what do you think you're doing? You'll never write a book. You'll
yeah,
never get it published. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, if somebody had said
Right.
that to me, like, really? Like, you really want so that it's so I think for me the imposter syndrome piece
Mm-hmm.
is, I don't know, there's this that the encouragement and support is just such a critical piece of the imposter syndrome, surrounding yourself with people who really do
Yeah.
truly support you. Yeah,
And so, I mean, maybe that's like starting out here. First off, if you can find someone, if you can
yeah,
find someone like-minded and it was kind of funny because I mean we just fell into it. It wasn't like we were like,
we
hey, will
did.
you support me while I write a book? It was like this really natural thing where you were like, I'm doing it, I'm writing this book, and I'm like, yeah, I have this book I started a little while ago, I should look at that again. Just because it's like you were doing it and you were really into it, and I was like, I do love to write. And I just like so many things I love to do, I get in this mode of I'm too busy, I'm too tired, whatever. But then you have that moment where it shifts, and all of a sudden that is fueling you. That
Yeah,
is like the thing that gives you the energy to do it.
yep,
And so that was very lucky on our part that it came together like that. And
mhm,
I don't know, maybe it's not luck, maybe it's the universe, whatever. However you want to look at that,
yeah,
you know, this divine congruence that here we
yeah,
are, two people know nothing about each other, get on this job where we're facing each other on a computer, and it's like slow. And it was funny because slowly but surely little things, would slip out, and it was like, and I think I'm pretty good. I i, I think sometimes, well, am I felt like I could trust you right away. I felt right away
yeah,
like you were not gonna, like if I told you some of my deep darks, you were not going to, because I've worked with people where it's like, I wouldn't tell you that because,
Yeah.
boy, you need something to use against me, and here we go. And you were so incredible. I mean, when I started working with you, that it was like, this is I mean, I knew right away who you were, and you're
Yeah.
so who you are, and so
Yeah.
open, and so
Yeah.
accessible, and so I never, um, it didn't take long for me to figure out, oh, okay, I can trust this one. I can
Yeah.
trust her.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was a safe space right away. I mean, when we were talking about sacred space, how we would started doing that, that's something
Yeah.
we would do. We'd be like,
Yeah.
when we needed to talk about something and we had to make it clear, this goes no further, we just say sacred space and we'd know. And
Mhm.
so, and I trusted you. So that was really good. And again, fortuitous and
Well, that we were put in the same place at the same moment. Yeah.
yes,
But I don't know if
yes.
you noticed, but I felt the same way. I was very, very careful who I told I was writing my book. Very careful
Uh-huh.
because one, because I was afraid of, honestly, for so many years, afraid of the judgment of the fact that I like to write spicy romance novels, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to change the world with what I write. Nope, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't plan on doing that. I don't plan on being on Oprah. But the fear of being in that space and telling people, and you were really truly, I swear, I know you might not have known this, but you were one of the very first people I really let myself tell outside of my close family.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
without a doubt. Yes. Oh yeah.
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 People have always said that they feel like they could tell me anything. And they do quite
Mhm.
often. It's like, okay, I don't know that I needed to know that, but thanks. No, I do. I think that I kind of give off a vibe of I'm not going to judge you. I will never judge.
Yeah.
The life I have been through, I have nowhere to judge anybody else. I have made
Yeah.
colossal bad choices, so many bad
Yeah.
decisions, so
Yeah.
many. I've done terrible things I regret to my bones. But hey, I
I
mean,
look back in shock in some of the things that I've done.
yes,
Bad choices.
100,000,000% bad choices. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, so unless you've hurt somebody on purpose, I mean, unless you're like
Yeah.
a sociopath or something, or it's gotten me in trouble sometimes too because I've trusted people I shouldn't have.
Oh,
Who, it
yeah.
was like, but
I can see. Yep.
I feel like there's been a shift in me kind of learning that the really painful way that it's like I'm better at judging that now. Like I did know I could trust you. And Laura, who was with us last week, it was like you just know. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I have to pretend. So one of the things is, can you find somebody to be your ride or die
Your
as
sacred space.
you, yeah, as you obliterate the imposter syndrome or navigate it, however it is, because obliterating might be a tall order. I mean, we're at
Right.
it
Yeah.
at the core, we're human, so
Yeah. Yeah.
we're going to do our best.
Yeah.
Um, but somebody who can help you when you're feeling those ways of, who the hell do I think I am? This is a crazy dream, and getting to that place of I was telling you that I had this shift, and so it's interesting. Here's how I got to imposter syndrome for the topic for today. So I decided I'm going to write the query letters to the agents. I've decided that
Yes.
it's going to happen this weekend, and at least get one out. That is my goal,
Okay.
to have done it. And I
It's like
told you it
writing
was,
writing in for a job interview, I'm sure. Everything that
it kind of is.
yeah.
It's very formulaic, and it's very prescribed how you do it.
Yeah.
And as I said, I was telling you, it's like I've had this shift where now I'm kind of like, I'm ready to join the club of rejected authors. You know what I mean? I'm ready to join that club of I'm going to send this to 100 agents, 1,000 agents if I have to, and I'm going to find one. I've said that from day one, that I trust the universe to find me the agent who is the right person for my book, the one who gets it, sees the potential, and I know they'll find me. So I trust in that. But it's like, just like in my, my story of moving here and all of that and getting the job, all that stuff, it wasn't like I just sat down and one day was like, I'm going to go here and I'm going to get this job, blah, blah, blah. There were the padded pylons along the way that I would bump into and be like, oh, that wasn't the way to go. So I totally trust in that. And I'm ready, to have those war stories of, I had to send it to, 300 agents before somebody picked it up. And I'll tell that story someday when I'm being interviewed, because my book is published.
Right.
But anyway, so I was really, feeling that. And then the bitch showed up and it was like,
oh,
it's going to feel really bad. It's going to feel awful. It's going to feel, and those old feelings of like, you'll feel ashamed. And what if they say mean things? What if they say, this is unpublishable? What if they say, you know what I mean? Those fucking thoughts are right back. So that's why I was like, how do we talk about imposter syndrome today? Because I'm having a big bowl of it for dinner. And I don't like it.
I know.
I don't like it. But again, I mean, if I weren't doing this, I would talk to you about it. I would be like, I was doing really well and really feeling this. And then all of a sudden, there it was again. And also, too, I think some other stuff happened and some other, outside things in my world and kind of rocked my boat a little bit. And sometimes I think that's part of it, too. Like when you're doing really well, the imposter syndrome kind of keeps her distance. You know what I mean? It's like when you're feeling it, when you're feeling yourself and you're like, this is great. But so that's kind of the thing is, and just like with all of this stuff, sometimes you just have to ride with it and feel it.
Yep. I mean, I'll tell you this, you were on the phone with me when I think that I looked at my reviews on my book and I was like, somebody gave me 2 stars.
Yeah.
Who gave me 2 stars?
That was so mean.
Well, but they didn't write anything, and everybody else had given me. But everyone else had given me really great reviews, 5 stars. But the part that was interesting about that moment was the same situation of, what if somebody's going to say something that I don't like? What if somebody's going to say something that makes me feel like, okay, I've got to pack up shop and I've just got to not do this anymore. They're right.
Right, right. Ooh, yes.
You know what
exactly.
I mean? So you get rejection letters. So does that mean they're right? No, it doesn't mean they're right. So I get a review that's only 2 stars. Does it mean they're right? No, it just means they probably just don't like historical romance in a Western theme. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and like, and for about 24 hours, I sat with it and had that uncomfortable moment of, okay, you are good enough. You are good enough. You are good enough. You can do this. You are good at what you do. But I'll be honest with you. Yes, I totally understand what you're talking about. That moment of, somebody gave me feedback I really didn't want to hear.
Yeah. Well, and that isn't even feedback though. That I'm sorry. I call foul.
You're right. That wasn't technically feedback. Yes, you're right. It wasn't.
No. If they'd said something concrete or something where you could have been like, oh, next time, or I'll fix that or whatever. Yeah. That's helpful.
Even just getting 2 stars was one of those. I am not good enough.
Yeah, that was.
You know what I mean? Out of everybody, all of my tribe and all of the people who had read it outside of my tribe giving me really wonderful feedback, one person giving me just 2 stars, nothing else, nothing other information. It's like, okay, I'm not good enough to do this.
That's the one I'm going to believe. I know. Ooh, I know. Mm-hmm. That makes me. That's the insidious part of it. It is.
And you have to pick yourself up, and you have to talk yourself out of that place because the reality is that they're not right.
Mm-mm. No,
they're right for what they need in their lives, and that's totally fine. But they're not right for what I have going. Right. They're not that that information that I have translated in my head, which is 100% inaccurate. And that's what it is. We have translated it into our heads that we are not good enough when we get that negative feedback.
Yeah, right. It fuels the imposter syndrome. It really does. It's like, see, and that thing of why do we cling to that one bad thing? 100 people can say it's so good. I love it. I love this about it. I love that about it. It's really good. And then the one person, and it's like, I want to believe that one. That holding on to
you're
that.
right. I should pack up shop.
Yeah, it's done. We're done. But and that, I mean, and we do live in the world that has been one of the most, I mean, it used to be to say something shitty about someone, you had to work at it. You had to write a letter to a newspaper or a magazine. You had to
now you can
now it is just punch down. I'm in a bad mood. I like it. I feel powerful. It makes me feel powerful to crush other people's dreams because my dreams suck. So, you know what I mean? It's like, so, but that's, so, I mean, if you're going to do what we're trying to do, you're putting yourself right in that old hot seat for that. So,
yeah.
Again, that's why I think it's really important to have support. I think in general, you know, if you can find someone, and I hope we can kind of be that support for people too. You know what I mean? That's kind of why we're doing this. To say, we hear you, we feel the same way, we deal with this stuff, and it's a journey. God, it's a freaking journey. All this stuff is. It really is. It's not. I wonder, like, you know, Oprah, we'll say Oprah here or whatever, when, I mean, people have said monstrously unkind things about Oprah, and I'm sure, you know, for the most part, it's water off a duck's back because it's like, okay, I'm going to go sit on my billions of dollars and I'll think about how you don't think I'm great.
Right. Exactly.
You know, and stuff. But I wonder, you know, if there are times when somebody hits her trauma core or whatever, and even somebody like that, I mean, you know, or like Taylor Swift, people who we would look at from a distance and be like, what else could you want or need or whatever? But I know somewhere they're human, and it just hurts. I mean, and also too, I mean, for people out there who think that, I don't know if a person who would do something like go to a, you know, brand new novelist, brand new book, and do something as shitty as just leave a 2-star rating. That's not even a review. That's a rating, and go away. You know, I mean, be better, do better. Just, you know, but I mean, unfortunately, I don't think they're probably going to be listening to us, and, you know.
And it's okay. I really actually have come to a place of, I've even forgotten about it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Somebody did. Okay. You know, like, it has definitely not stopped me. I'm writing the second book now and enjoying every second of it. And I think to myself, no matter what happens in this life, I think that's where I'm the absolute happiest. So it's kind of like, I'm not letting people take that away from me.
No.
Just not going to take that away from me.
No. And I mean, even though I guess this is, maybe I feel a little sorry for people who are bitter and trapped and don't feel like, I don't know, you know, but because even I would rather live in this place of hope and excitement than to be in a place of pessimism and just give up, because then, I mean, how often do we talk about how we can get through shit because we're thinking about this, we're eyes on the prize, you know, all the time. And it's like, this is just a means to an end. How many times are we, this is just a means to an end. And
one day we're going to be calling ourselves each other because we're going to be, you know, traveling to some special event, you know, some book signing conference.
Oh, jinx.
And we're going to say, remember when?
Yeah, no. And sorry to you who are, wish squishers, like I call them, where you've got to be like, where, and that's their fear. That's their fear. That's their imposter syndrome. That's their feeling of, if I have dreams, and they don't come true, then I'm a failure. If I have dreams, and we talked
Yeah.
about this on other episodes, it's like the best kind of dream you can have is the one where you're following what the universe brings you, and reacting with that, not trying to
Yes.
steer the universe in a direction.
A zillion percent correct. Yes. I
Because
completely agree with that philosophy. Absolutely 100%.
yeah,
Yes.
it's not
Because we've
easy.
talked about it. Like I think that we talked about this on one of um our podcasts where it's I call it the spiritual red carpet. When the red carpet is laid out in front of you spiritually, in my belief, okay, I want to make it clear, it's my belief that your guides, your angels, the universe is basically saying, look at flashing lights over here, this is where it's at.
Hmm.
And we all do it. We all do it, and we
Yeah.
go, yeah, I know, wait 1 minute, I need to go over here and I need to do this first. And
Hmm.
when you diverge off that red carpet, everything feels harder. Nothing is going in the direction it wants. Nothing's going on the time frame you want it to be going.
Yeah.
All of the things happen to be harder, and it's like, let go and
Yep.
just be led. Just be led. Just be led.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And accept
But the
important
thing is,
things.
back to the whole thing about the
Yeah.
spiritual red carpet,
Yeah. I love
it's
that. I
not.
think that's going to be the name of this episode.
Oh, okay. The spiritual red carpet. I love it. I'm serious. I've always said that. I've always said that about, and I can look
Very
back on my
cool.
life and I can go, yep, that was the spiritual red carpet right there. Um, but I think the key though to understanding the spiritual red carpet is you physically have to take steps. It's
Yes.
not going to be laid out in front of you and suddenly you're going to be in the beginning of that carpet and you're going to be at the end. You physically have to walk that carpet. You have to take the time to walk the steps. You're not going
Yes.
to take one step and be all the way at the end. You have to take 20, 30, 100,
Yeah.
whatever it takes. You got to walk that carpet. And the thing is, and I think you know this because we know in life when we aren't moving forward, that's when we feel stuck. But the minute we just make a decision, take
Hmm.
action, just take even the baby step forward, it's like suddenly,
Yes.
okay, oh, I I didn't see that before. Suddenly I feel like now I can move forward. Suddenly I feel like, yeah. So I want to clarify
Inspired
what the whole,
action.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know we have talked about that. It's like, this isn't like wishful thinking. This isn't like hoping. We sat
Yeah.
down and wrote books.
I mean, we're old enough to know now that nothing in life ain't handed to you. Life don't work like that.
No, it
You
does
know,
not. No,
nothing gets handed to you like that.
it
Nothing.
doesn't. And I
And if
mean,
it
that's the
does,
thing.
God bless you. Like good for
Yeah.
you. But
Yeah. Even when it might feel like that, but I have to believe on some level you've aligned things so that could find you. I do. I do think that.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think
Because
that's also part of the imposter syndrome too. I mean, if we're going to go full circle back to the imposter syndrome and go back to just that moment we were both talking about how you need to have your sacred space, that person that encourages you. I firmly believe, and you firmly believe, we know this about ourselves, that the universe put us together in the right
yeah.
moment and the right time in our lives so that we could be that for each other. I also believe that, you know, it could be any kind of a sign, it could be any kind of a gift from the universe, it could be anything that is giving you the encouragement to move forward and helping you through whatever you might be going through. If it is the imposter syndrome, if it is something else, if it is a bad review, if it is whatever,
Hmm.
um you know I believe in seeing the signs.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
And I think part of that, interpreting signs, whatever it is, however you're going to do it, um, that's part of the how you keep yourself on the path, is
Yeah.
to look at it like that. And I mean, I know there are many people who would roll their eyes at what we're talking about. And it's not like I don't exactly know how to explain how I feel about this, because in many ways I'm a very rational, logical person. And I'm very much I need proof, I need, solid things. But I would say in like the last 5 to 10 years, I've seen something very different happen. And whether it's mystical or whether it's intention driven, of when you're choosing to interpret things, when you're choosing to not look at things as, again, roadblocks, but you're looking at them as direction signs, when you choose to take a message that comes to you and be like, how does that inspire me? How does that get me to another step? What is that telling me to do? Whatever you want to call that, whatever you want to think of it. If you want to think it's totally something you do, I think it is. If you want to think it's totally something divine, I also think it is. I mean, I've gotten to a point in my life and being where I don't have any answers and I can't explain some things. And so I don't need to anymore either. I don't know. The older you get, the more you realize nothing makes sense.
And sometimes the universe just kicks you in the butt. I mean, like, and I mean, I think you and I both, and I'm not trying to sound like we owe it to her. It's not necessarily, it's just, and edit that out part too. I just want to say, like, I think that when we talk about the signs and we talk about, following the red carpet. So for me, the book, this was written, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. And then over the last 15 years, it's been refined and refined and refined and then put away and then put back and then put away. And, in my therapy, my therapist had always said, you should be writing again. You should be writing again. And I would always say, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. It's not. So, but there's always that part of me that always knew this was what I was supposed to be doing with my life.
Yeah.
So where the spiritual red carpet kicked me in the ass was literally, was it a year ago? Yeah, it was a year ago, January, where I went to a gymnastics class and I sat down for the very first time while my daughter was taking her very first class. And I was contemplating going outside and just walking during the class. And there was a woman sitting next to me. And she just said, oh, you can watch them from here. And we just kind of, that initiated the conversation. And from that moment forward, we instantly hit it off. We talked and talked and talked the entire hour. And by the end of the conversation, we had talked about our jobs in a very vague way. And I just said, well, what do you do? And she said, oh, I'm a romance novelist. And I thought, are you fucking kidding me?
Exactly.
Are you, like, universe, are you, and even to her,
how can you not say the universe works?
And I was like, universe, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and I just sat there for a moment, kind of like reeling, and I was worried she thought I was crazy. Katie Ray was her name, my author friend, and she is the one that, we've developed this amazing friendship, but I really owe her a huge amount of thanks because she taught me how to self-publish, be this independent author that, and I really believe that was part of the spiritual red carpet kicking me in the ass. Like, you need to fucking move forward with this. This is why you're here. Move it, lady. So
yes, I agree.
It can come in small signs and it can come in big signs.
Yes. No, that was definitely, that's kind of, I mean, that's almost like chills. You know what I mean? That.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That,
I mean, I called my mom and my sisters right away and go, I think she thinks I'm crazy and I'm going to stalk her. I did.
She's okay. She's safe. She's still
She knows me now.
Yes. No, that, I mean, right there, that's it. I mean, well, and then the trickle down effect of that, and then you start doing the writing, and I'm like, yeah, I got that book, I got that thing I started, and I love the idea, but I've told you before that my biggest problem, I used to be so insanely critical of my writing. And I mean, like, I was so mean to myself. It makes me sad sometimes. You know, it's like, God damn, I was so fucking mean to myself. And I'd write and I'd feel so good about everything. And then I'd go back and read it and I'd be like, oh my God, that is so stupid, and just hate it, and be like,
wow.
Oh, I know. And so that's sad and everything. But, a thing that kind of broke me of that was the NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. It's in
Right.
November. I've told you about this before.
I
And
was so
I
impressed when you did that. Oh my God, I was so
it's
impressed when you did that. I was jealous too, but go ahead.
it's like you write a 40,000 word novel in the month of November. And the thing is, they tell you how many words you got to get done each day. And it seems like it must be like 30 or 40,000 because you have to write around 3,500 words a day, I think. And for me, that's not, I mean, I can barf out words all day. You know what I mean? That's not the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing that did for me, though, is because of everything else going on in your life, you don't have time to go back and read and hate what you wrote. And
Yep.
so it pushed me to just keep writing. By doing that, it also gave me some distance. It also kept me from just jumping right in. And then it was like, oh, yeah, some of this is okay. Some of this is
Mm-hmm.
okay. And it really tempered that mean critic
I
in
love
me.
it. I love it.
So that helped me with that. But the book that I've written was probably, I had like the kernel of the idea. I knew what I wanted. I knew what I was trying to accomplish with the book, but I had no idea how it would play out at all. I had just this part, and I wrote that first part, and I was like, I like the idea, but I just don't know. I just don't know where to go with it. And then you start doing that, and I was like, maybe I should look at that. Maybe I should just think about it. And I love to write, and it's like, why am I, and for me too, I think of all the things that I can do outside of work that are
Yeah.
the easiest, because like
Yeah.
I have many enjoyable hobbies, but like I love to paint, but painting takes a lot of setup and it's messy and you got to have a place and you got to have good light. And I could take like a painting class and go and paint or whatever, but it's a lot to it. I love to crochet, I love needlepoint. I love all of these things, but it would always be like I get everything out and then and I'm tired. Writing was like, all I gotta do is sit down here at this computer and start typing. And I did. And it was, I don't know if it was the unfettered good juju from you and the encouragement and just all of that, but it was a very different experience because that book just,
Oh, I know
like,
it came out of you.
it did. And it was
Like,
like, yeah, it was like, and all of a sudden it was like I knew where it was going and I knew
it
how
was
I
almost
had
like you couldn't write fast enough.
exactly, like I've always said, it's like I was watching this take place and reporting. That's how it really
That's
felt,
the
more
most
like I was
amazing
reporting.
feeling. Oh,
And so, yeah, this was
yeah.
very different. And if it never gets published or whatever happens, I mean, I don't want to put that out there, cancel clear,
I
but
know. It's so clear.
whatever happens with it, that experience will never leave me because I know what I did with that. And here's the really different thing. I love that book. I love those characters I wrote about.
Oh,
I formed such a bond with them that there were
yes.
points I bawled my eyes out writing
Yes.
that book. And I feel like they're people I know. And it's
Yeah.
a little
I mean, they
creepy.
live in my brain. They live in my heart when I create these characters.
Yes.
Yes.
And I
I'm
never
actually at
had
that
that
point right
before.
now where I can't stop thinking about them. I'm becoming obsessed again. But that's what you get when you write. You get
Yes.
obsessed.
Yes.
You really think about them every
Yeah.
moment you can.
Well,
Yeah.
and so maybe it took, I mean, all of this time and all of the stop start stuff in my life to finally get to this point where, even though, like I said, I've been writing and writing stories and all kinds of things since I learned how to put a sentence together. I mean, that was just, it was where I just
Yeah.
flourished. But this was different. This was like, I don't know, was it kind of becoming a writer? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I really shifted into that. And it's funny because all of my life I would have said, yeah, I'm a writer. I write, you know what I mean? It's my thing. It's my calling card. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
thing I think I'm good at, but I don't know. It was like, so um I'm thinking about that in relationship to imposter syndrome. That experience really, even though I'm having a little bit now because I'm about to do something pretty big and scary,
Yeah.
And so I give myself some, it's like, yeah, the common humanity from mindful self-compassion. I love mindful self-compassion. And one of the tenets of that, what you do is you say, anyone in my position would feel the same way. Anyone who's put it, what I put into a book like that and is going to have that feeling. It's like I always say, the dream when you go to school in your underwear. It's like you are exposed and about as vulnerable as you can be, because like I said, I
Yes.
fell in love with these people in this book. And
Yes.
to have somebody tell me my baby's ugly, I don't love that idea. So it is, it's daunting. I will fully admit it's daunting. It's not easy,
Yeah.
but this process and these dreams and this forward momentum, it's kind of unbelievable, and it's kind of really telling that imposter syndrome to go fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. On the other side of that is this feeling of being alive, and
Yeah.
I mean, because I will
Yes.
say, I think what you're about to go through is what I went through. So I published in December of 2025, and that month or month and a half between December and like somewhere in the middle of January, I would have friends and family go, "Oh my God, what an amazing accomplishment. How do you feel?" And I'd be like, "I'm incredibly, incredibly terrified, but keeping I'm just keeping walking forward. I'm walking forward. I'm just doing the next thing I'm supposed to be doing, because I had to teach myself how to do social media. I had to teach myself how to do TikTok. I had to teach, you know what I mean? Which I didn't know how to do any of those things. And learning
Yeah.
that as an independent author, if you want people to read your book, you got to get out there. You've
Yeah.
got to market yourself.
Yeah.
And just the part of publishing was terrifying, but also putting myself out there to other people to judge or look, or it still is pretty terrifying. I think but I think you're about to step into that place of you're putting yourself out there. It is truly terrifying. Nothing can ever take away that feeling of
Right.
it's terrifying. But again, just take the next step, and then take the next step, and then take the next step. And then suddenly that terrifying feeling won't feel so terrifying. And you're going to be able to look back and go, holy shit, look how far I came.
There's
Like,
a part in my book where
yeah.
the main character's dad tells her, if you're driving at night, you can only see as far as your headlights. You just have to trust that things are okay as long as you're
The road is
following
ahead
your
of you.
headlights. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even if you can't see it, even if you don't know what's there, you just have to trust that if you
Right.
keep following. And I mean, I know that I didn't make that up. I know that that's a thing people say or whatever, but her dad says it, and it's and then he ruins it.
Oh,
It starts out nice, but then he ruins it, like parents do.
I feel really bad, and I'm just today at the beach I never got to read. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no,
I
it's okay.
know I never got
Whatever
to,
happens,
because
it happens.
because I had to be a mom and an entertainer, and so because it was just me and my daughter, so we played at the beach, and we did
Oh, well,
that, and
that's
so.
way more important than reading my book. So
But
my
I'm
book will
ready and
always
locked
be
and
there.
loaded.
She will not be 11 forever. My book will be there
I
forever.
know,
So
and I'm learning that's a very delicate age for a little girl.
it is,
I mean,
man. I remember 11
I
was
should have known I
hard.
was there too.
Yeah.
It's just different when it's your daughter. I don't know how to,
Yeah.
it's not that I'm everybody goes through this, but
Yeah. No, it is. It's hard, and I think it's hard because, well, and I think this is really actually very timely that we're talking about this, because I feel like that age, when you kind of start going from being a little girl to into like tweenishness and early teen, preteen, whatever they call it, that's where a lot of this shit starts to set in. Because when you're younger and you have, if you're lucky and no one's been there to start early on you, um, that you kind of can have like this just sort of unfettered self-confidence because you don't know any different. You know what I mean?
well,
And you still
yeah,
have
and
enough
I
ego
mean,
strength, and you think you're great, and
I've
you
always
think what you
said
do is good.
this is the time in school, fourth, fifth,
Uh,
sixth grade is just vicious.
It
And
is.
and again, back to the last podcast, making it through is all about being resilient. I mean,
Yeah.
I had to watch my son get bullied through
Mm-hmm.
these years, and I kept hearing the universe, my guides and my angels saying, just trust, be there for them, be the bear, me, mama bear, and now that he's on the other side of it, he's doing fine. He'll laugh like, "Mom, I don't even think about those guys. I don't even think about what's going. I don't even." And I'm just
Yeah.
like, "Well, they're little shits to me still." You know what I mean? Like,
Better not be alone with them.
so having my daughter go through this now is interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. But the part
Yeah.
about it that I look now at my son and where he is as a human being, yes, there's a lot of development that still needs to happen at 17. Um, but as far as people and them getting him, it's like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I'm sure there's somebody that's going to hurt him one day, absolutely. But
Mm-hmm.
he's. It's really interesting how it's like, it's just he'll answer like it's their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Yeah.
me. Like, God bless.
No, that's
Amazing.
yes, it is. And that's and again, harkening back to last week's episode, part of dealing with imposter syndrome is resilience. It
Yeah.
really is. I mean, that's really what it
Yeah.
comes down to. So much of it is to not let the demons win, to not let
Yeah.
the wish
Bullies,
squishers
the
win, the
demons.
bullies and the
Yeah.
wish squishers and the demons all win.
Yeah.
Whether the demons inside us, the bullies who are unabashedly cruel, or the wish squishers who tell you your dreams are dumb.
Right.
They're kind of like the trifecta of they're like the fuel for imposter syndrome. They really are.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
the fuel of that. And
Mm-hmm.
then the thing that douses that fire is resilience, because it's
Mm-hmm.
like your son, that's them, that's on them,
Yeah.
that's
No,
their
it's amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
or being like you with someone who just decides to flit in when your book is brand new to Amazon and give you a 2-star review because
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, gosh, your life must be just full. You
Yeah.
you must just be a delight.
I
It's
did get
like,
another review though, and it was, I think, another 4-star, and nobody left by the way. Yeah, so I mean, I check it every once in a while to see, like, did anybody else review it? Yeah, and I did get another review. It was another 4-star, but no comments. So somebody
that's
in the
fine.
universe went in there and yeah,
That's okay if they want to leave you good stars. That's fine. 2 stars, that is not okay. You
it's
didn't
pretty
need to
cool to
do
see that.
that. No.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I'm not even going to talk about them because, again, I'm sure
yeah,
they suck. So,
yeah.
100%.
Well, I think the cool thing about all this though is, I mean, for me, my perspective came into play. And don't get me wrong. I'm sure one day somebody's going to make a nasty comment on TikTok. I'm sure one day somebody's going to make a nasty comment somewhere and it's going to devastate me. I am not saying I am ironclad here. But I will say this, you know, my feeling, your feeling, the feeling we get from being so incredibly fulfilled by the moment of
Mm-hmm.
the creation and the writing process. Man, no one can take that away from
Nope.
me. That is the most amazing feeling I
Nope.
think
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That experience, that's all I need. I
Mm.
mean, it's not like my life is empty. It's not like this is my only dream. It's not like if I don't get published, I'm going to pull a John Kennedy O'Toole. It's not who wrote The Confederacy of Dunces, and he's the sad story of the person who got rejected and ended up taking his own life. And then his mother schlepped his book around and got him published. And it's now like in the canon of American literature. Don't be that person. Get help.
Yeah.
Get help. But I'm not that person either. You know what I mean? I'm not like,
Mhm.
my happiness is not dependent on my book getting published. My dreams are
Yeah.
wrapped up in that, and I'd be very excited. But that
Yes.
the experience of writing that book, that's what made me happy. That's what made
It's
me.
so funny that you say that because okay, so my daughter and I we were driving home from a volleyball and we were talking about my writing because she was like, "That's all you do lately. That's all you do. You don't have any time for me." And I'm like, "Well, we went to the beach and then we did this
Yeah.
and like how?"
What do
And
you
I know
need?
she was just going through something, so I get that. But she said, I said, "Do you?" I just quietly said, "Do you know why I write?" And she said, "Because you want to be rich and famous." And I said, "No." I said, "That's a great icing on the cake, honey bunnies. That would be great if that happened, but that isn't why I write." And I said, I explained to her like one day you're gonna really come to be aware of the dream of what you want to do here on this earth and why you want to be here and how you want to walk this earth.
Mhm.
I said, for me, I want to write. And she just kind of looked at me like, well, you still spend so much time doing it. I was like, okay. But you want to know the cutest thing that happened last night? Oh God. So last night I'm in my space, I'm writing, and I look behind me and she has her little iPad and she has, because I have this little like desk for when I'm in bed and writing. She got my little desk. She's in there. She's got her hair up. She's doing her thing. Like, holy shit.
I
Oh God. I
love
know.
that. Oh my God,
Thank
your heart
you.
must have just been full.
Yeah.
Aw, that's adorable. That is
Mhm.
so wonderful.
I
But
should have picked myself and got in bed with her and wrote next to her. So,
yeah,
we
um,
cuddled and wrote. Yeah.
yes. Well, I remember my sister would never like it when my mom read, when she'd be reading a book or something. She didn't like her attention diverted.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah. It's all good. I mean, like, I know we all have those things we remember about our mom that I know it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what my kids walk away with when they're adults and go, "Mom, you always used to do," but that's a
Yeah.
whole nother,
Well, yeah.
that's a whole other podcast.
No, I
Yeah.
think your kids, when your kids never understand, what all you've done for them. And maybe
No.
they never do, but um, they will at some point really appreciate
Yeah.
even because and of course, okay, repping Gen X here. Uh, when we were coming up, like I've had young people say to me, I wish I'd grown up in the 80s. And it's like, oh, really? Do you like it that your parents know where you are and keep track of your whereabouts and whether you're alive today? Is that nice for you? Do you someday you're going to appreciate that your parents actually cared about where you were,
Yeah.
cared about what you were
Oh
doing.
yeah. I
Um,
still can't get over what my mom cared about and didn't care about, and I just yes, it amazes me. Yes,
yes,
but we again another podcast.
yes, surviving being growing up in the
The
80s.
80s, surviving the
Uh,
80s. Oh my God,
yeah,
yes, it's so true though. It's
But
so
I mean,
true.
I look back, God, I mean, like my parents, oh my God, all we'd have to do is call and say, hi, I'm going to stay at Lori's house tonight. And they'd be like, okay.
Oh, I
Like,
know.
they did not
Oh,
know
I
where
know.
we
Oh,
were,
I
but
know.
it most
Believe me.
likely was not Lori's house.
And now, I mean, my son will say this, "Can I spend the night at so and so's house?" And I'll be like, "Okay," and I'll watch. Are
Yeah.
you?
Oh, I know.
I'll
You've
watch
got the
on phone.
phones now. I know.
Mhm.
I know. But, it's like, I feel like
And he
even if
goes,
my
he goes
parents
where he says he's
had,
going.
yeah, even if my parents had had the technology, I don't know if they would have used it. I don't know that I mean, it was a very, it, it, John Mulaney said it. I grew up just before kids were special. It's like I get that feeling. It's like
Yeah.
I know
Don't
that's
get
not
me
wrong.
wrong. I am sure. I mean, we are beautiful human creatures. We learn to
Yes.
evolve and adapt. So I'm sure there is something, and
Oh.
not just something, many things that are going under my radar.
Oh,
Absolutely,
sure,
there's no
sure,
doubt
sure,
about
sure.
that.
They wouldn't be kids if No, and then also too. Then there's the chance they'll be like, "Oh my God, my mom watched every move I ever made. I felt like I was completely stifled, and it made you just and I do get that as parents. It is very difficult. My mom pointed that out a lot that I can't win, and it's like, yeah, but you could try a little. You could try to, you could try a little on that other side of being a little more involved, and you know, yeah, no.
Oh, awesome.
I look up on Google, how do you make sure your mom never sees your podcast?
Oh yeah, huh?
Can you block an individual from your podcast?
That's funny.
No, I don't care. She
No.
can watch it. I mean, it's like, hey, I'll tell her not to, but it's like, if you do, you do. And if it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's
This is yours,
true.
not hers.
Exactly. Start your own podcast. No,
Mhm.
don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please
No.
don't. Universe, cancel clip, cancel clip. Do not let her start. Do not let her figure out how to do a podcast. It'll be like the time she started to do a blog.
Oh my God, how funny. That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The care
oh.
and feeding of parents is definitely a topic. Definitely a topic. No, so I feel like, one of the things I think I kind of want to do with this, with the podcast and things, is give a teens of advice, or like tips and tricks, or I don't know what I want to call it, but like how I deal with these things, like my things that really work for me to help me deal with this. Just if people are kind of like,
Well, yeah. But
you
again, I
know,
mean, again, if we're going to go full circle with this, again, I think one of the most beautiful things that if you're going to take anything positive out of an imposter syndrome moment is when you talk to someone who you think has their shit together, who
yes,
you know, like, God, they're amazing. And then you sit down and they open up and they're like, oh my God, I had no idea what I was doing in
yes,
that meeting. Oh no, I had total imposter syndrome the whole time. And you're like, oh wow. Like,
I
so
thought you
you're like,
had everything
I'm not the
together.
only, right. I'm not the only one. And look at
Yes,
you. You're amazing. I thought you had your shit together. And it's not like, oh, suddenly you don't have your shit together. It's just more like,
you did it
wow,
anyway.
okay.
You could
So
do
you're
that.
a human being too.
Yes, and yet you overcame it. No, so I think that, like, okay,
Mhm.
so definitely, eh, definitely, if you can find somebody else, if you can find somebody who's like that person you can talk to either about how you're feeling, and it could be a therapist. I mean, it certainly could be a coach, a therapist, things like that. I mean, if it's really bad and you feel like it's hindering something for you, like you're screwing yourself up at work, things are going really bad at work because you're so insecure that you
Yeah.
keep, blowing meetings and blowing things that you shouldn't be, or whatever it is you're doing. I mean,
Mhm.
you're not making the sales quota at the Gap where you're selling t-shirts for $90. Okay, what the hell has happened at the Gap? Everything's $90 when I go. Almost everything at the Gap is $90, and then they've got some crazy Ponzi scheme of how they're selling stuff now. If you buy 18, you can get them all for $1. And anyway. So
What?
it's cuckoo crazy at the Gap right now. I don't understand what
If
is
you
going
buy,
on.
you say 80?
Well, 18, I said. I was being silly. I was cracking wise. But no, it's like all these, everything, they've marked everything up to an insane degree. To seriously, where like jeans are $90 at the Gap, which, I mean, the Gap used to be a good place to get a cheap t-shirt and jeans, you know what I mean? And
Oh
now,
yeah.
and they're still cheap, but you've got to buy like 5 things to get a cheap price. Economies of scale.
Wow, I have
Yeah.
not done enough
Yeah.
shopping, I guess, to know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I've been on this quest for the perfect white blouse. And so I've been in a
Mhm.
lot of stores. I did finally find one at the Banana. So I think it might be the
Okay.
blouse I've been looking for. And it was a good deal.
Okay.
I went to the Banana Factory. So it was a very good deal. Anyway, so finding your person or human. And again, to me, that
Yeah.
goes to that tenet of mindful self-compassion. And I'm going to just roll that forward. Mindful self-compassion is an amazing thing. Kristen Neff and Chris Germer are like the gurus of mindful self-compassion. And I've done courses um, that both of them have led. I've done courses with people from their organization who,
Mhm.
Kristen Neff came out with a book called Fierce Self-Compassion. And honestly, that was the book that got me into mindful self-compassion. I really didn't know I'd heard the term, but I didn't really know what it was. I assumed it was kind of like mindfulness, you know what I mean, or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, I know about that. So this fierce self-compassion came out. And the premise behind the book is where mindful self-compassion is, this is the universal symbol of mindful self-compassion. Hands over your heart. It's okay. It's okay. You can get through this. Anyone would feel bad. Fierce mindful self-compassion can take different forms, and it's more like the mama bear, where it's like, oh no, oh no, 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 no. I'm showing you self-compassion by saying, I'm not going to let you go down that path. I'm not going to let somebody do that to you. No, no, no,
Yeah.
no. And so it's a different kind, and it can even be things like, get off your ass. Get off your ass and get it done, because you know that's what will make you feel better. You know that's what you need to
Yeah.
do. So, and all apologies to Kristen Neff for completely butchering her incredible work. That kind of work can really help with that imposter syndrome. Those are when you don't have somebody else, be that person for yourself. And that's hard, and that takes practice, because it's kind of like you're in the same room with the bad guy. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
that bad guy's in your head too, you know? And so it's like, it can be harder to do that, which is why I encourage, if you can find an outside source, and even if it's, you can find talks that people like Kristen Neff do about things like this, about,
Oh yeah.
overcoming. And that's, my personal, my favorite app is Insight Timer. As you know, I talk about it a lot. And never underestimate what 15 minutes of some positive self-talk from somebody else, somebody leading you through, can do for
Yeah.
you. It's
Yeah.
when you don't have that person, when you don't have that access, because
Yeah.
I feel like in some ways I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that I wandered into this paradigm that has put itself before me. And I hope everybody finds that. But I also don't want to see people, looking for that and not able to find it and feeling like, I'm
Well,
alone.
I think you also should. I think you also should give yourself credit. Um, you worked your ass off to get to where you know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
you know, you did.
Yeah.
You worked
I
your ass
did.
off to get there. So
Yeah.
to be able,
I mean,
just to, I know I don't sound like just to walk in the room, but you did. You really worked your ass off to get to a place where yeah,
and I had to do a lot of that alone. I did. And so
yeah,
that's where I really, maybe that's why I keep going back to this idea, because if you were like I was before, when I felt very alone in all of this and didn't have anybody who was there to say,
yeah.
no, we're writing, we're writers, we're going to be published, we're publishing, we're this, when I didn't have that. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is even before I was considering any kind of book or anything. I just didn't have anybody who was like, yay, you're on your healing journey, you're getting better. No, I was. So, but again, I did do it on my own a lot. I mean, I had people who were supportive, and I had therapists and things like that.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff maybe you have to do on your own.
I do think there is something to be said sometimes. I'm not saying this is blanket for everyone in the whole universe. I'm just saying that there is something to be said for sometimes doing it on your own,
Mhm.
because it's kind of like goes back to that same philosophy of if you listen to Esther Hicks,
Mhm.
one of the things she says is the universe isn't just going to hand you $1 million. You ask to
Mhm.
win the lottery. Well, it might just at some point, but the reality is you're going to defend that $1 million if you worked for it. Just like if you have that moment where you can claim it as yours, it's going to be fiercely
Yeah.
defended,
Yeah.
you know?
That is amazing. Yes. And so true. And honestly, someone can be there and be building you up, a coach, a
Mhm.
friend, or whatever. But if you still have that demon inside you who negates everything they say, until you've really worked through that, it's always going to be there trying to be its ugly self and spit on
Yeah.
your ideas and everything. Of late, my obsession with EFT, or tapping,
Oh, yeah.
emotional freedom
Right.
technique, I've had amazing, amazing results with that. And some things too, I think they have to find you when it's the time for them to find you. And that's exactly what
Mhm.
happened with that. It was very much like it came to me at a time when I needed it. But I will say, I can't explain how that works. That's one where it's a little spooky to me sometimes, because I think it has to be something to do. I have a theory that maybe it's like like neuro-linguistic programming, something like that, something about saying it with the tapping. And I certainly believe the acupressure points. I believe there's something there. I mean, I always go back to with EFT, the Veterans Administration is using this for people with PTSD, with soldiers, former soldiers with PTSD. Obviously, I mean, some people will, dismiss it, that it's not, it's proven it should be or whatever, but it's like, sometimes it's like, well, is it getting results? Is it helping people feel better who are having a really hard time feeling better? Okay, maybe it's magic. Maybe it is just magic and you can't rationalize it away. So anyway, but, and I think there's something you said earlier about, it's that, again, the spiritual red carpet. I love that so much. I do. And it's that taking inspired action. And that's probably the things that I'm talking about here, these ideas of things to do, they're just ways to do some inspired action to keep you focused on the eyes on the prize. I mean, just like everything, I think dealing with imposter syndrome is just staying on the path, and how do you keep pulling yourself back and not letting it win? I mean, and if you're feeling that way, you can write us. We're here. We're here,
God, yes.
Email us. It's hosts at pivothappens.com. And two, again, if you want to tell your story, if you want to come on here and tell your story, we are so open to that. Whether it's how you overcame imposter syndrome, how you manage your imposter syndrome, or it's something else. It's a story about, your pivot another way. We are very open. We want to hear everyone's story because that's where the inspiration is. That's what keeps us wanting to continue pivoting.
Yeah. Yes.
Pivot happens. It does.
Yep.
So, well, I think that's going to be the end of our episode for today. Very
It was a
exciting.
good one.
It was. Dang,
We're getting in the groove.
We are definitely getting in the groove.